Om Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtin Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisam Tattvamasya Adilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Kamal, are the social media platforms ready? Put a message in. Okay. You're ready. Okay. I welcome everyone who are sitting. Sorry for the delay because I was really feeling that people are taking a lot of time to connect. So I'm also waiting. That's what. First, we are today doing the Bhagavad Gita, demystified, decoded. We are doing now series 11. Bhagavan is giving us the experience of formless form. Already 3 sessions are over last week. And this whole series is about 3 questions. Can the divine form be seen? See, I'm repeating the gist of last sessions because it's a last week. I'm sure you may not remember. I'm also scanning while I am teaching, okay, while I'm telling this. Okay, let me see. Videos on, please. Sylvia, how are you? Hope you're completely healed. You're completely healed, Ma? You're not bleeding anymore? You're fine? Wow, really, what a, what a miracle. I'm very happy. Great. So I'm repeating. This whole series is about 3 questions. One is, can the divine form be seen? Next one, what is the qualification to see the divine form? And while we are seeing the divine form, what really happens to us? This is the 3 questions. So last, we already spoke about darshan, seeing the divine form is possible. So we understood that seeing the divine form is possible. Next, we understood who can see the divine form. This also we spoke about. Now we are going to discuss the divine eye, the Divya Chakshu, means what really happens when we have the experience of seeing the divine. So what Bhagavan says, let us just chant. Krishna's words. Om na tu mam sakyase drashtum Anenaiva swachakshusha divyam dadami te chakshuhu pasya me yogamaishwaram. This means, Arjuna, you cannot see me with these ordinary eyes. You need the divine eye, the third eye, Divya Chakshu. To see my cosmic form, I am giving you the divine eye. So understand, what is this divine eye? Let me tell you Swamiji's experience that happened when he was 12 years old. Because please understand, all of us need to know here actually what is divine eye. We speak so much about Trinetra, divine eye, all that. But what is it? So let me tell you the experience which Swamiji had when he was 11 and a half, 12 years old. Okay. Hopefully I'm not too fast for all the translators. Am I okay? Yeah. Okay, great. So Ma, Anna, how many Spanish participants are there in your room? Anna, how many Spanish participants are there? Not on the screen. 10 people? Okay. 7 people. Okay. What about Dennis? What about French? Okay. Are everybody connected on this screen or in their different room? I can't. Pardon? Are they on this screen? Can I see them? Am I seeing them? No, right? Spanish people are not here, right? Oh, okay, okay. They are here. Everybody are here. All 7 people on the screen. Okay. All French people are here on the screen. Great. Very good. So let me see everyone. So whatever healing you need, guys, everybody, Spanish, French, all over the world, whatever healing you need, you can just think about it inside while the class is going on. You can just, once or twice you think about it, you'll be healed. Anyhow, now let us come back. So Swamiji, when he was 11 and a half, 12 years, he had an experience. During that age, he used to do a particular meditation, or I rather say that he used to play with a technique given to him by his master. When he was about 10 years old, the great master, Sri Annamalai Swamigal, he was direct disciple of Sri Ramana Maharishi. You know the great saint Ramana Maharishi? So, Sri Ramana Maharishi's disciple, Annamalai Swamigal, first taught this technique to Swamiji of exploring to see where thoughts originated. Please understand, maybe this can click to you too. Say, whatever experience Swamiji had, maybe this technique might click to you too. So listen carefully to the technique. Exploring to see where your thoughts are originating from. This is one of the powerful technique. You can also try. Once, when Swamiji visited him with his parents, Annamalai Swamigal was addressing a group of seekers and was saying, he was addressing a group of seekers who Annamalai Swamigal. So Swamiji went there with his parents and he was listening to all this. So what was the great Swami teaching to his seekers? He was saying, we are not the body, we are Atman, the spirit. No pain or suffering touches us. This is what Annamalai Swamigal was speaking. Then Swamiji heard this and he wondered how this could be. Because if my mother beat me, I can feel the pain. In India, if kids were mischievous, they would be roundly beaten. You cannot call 911 there. Okay. Very much we are allowed here. Because it always comes from love, right? To correct the child. So Swamiji was wondering, if my mother beats me, I can feel the pain. What is this Swamigal is saying that no pain touches you? So to experiment this, he went home and cut his thigh. Can you believe it? He cut his thigh with a knife to see if he had pain or not. Oh God, he was bleeding profusely. Naturally, it not only hurt him, but he had to be taken to the hospital for the wound to be stitched. And with more scolding from his mother. He had both pain and suffering. So he wondered why this Annamalai Swamigal had taught us such a thing as no suffering or pain. Experimenting on others was easy. Arjuna was intelligent. After understanding everything, he started killing others. He never experimented on himself. Arjuna never experimented on himself. He started killing others after understood. So, experimenting on others is easy. So, Swamiji approached the Annamalai Swamigal and related what had happened to him. Then that Swami first asked our Swamiji, did I ask you to go and cut yourself? Then he made a profound statement that transformed our Swamiji's life. Annamalai Swamigal said, you may have pain and suffering now, but do not worry. Your attitude of analyzing and searching for the truth, your courage to experiment the truth will liberate you from all pains. So go ahead. Understand? We will also go beyond pain and suffering. We don't have to worry. Many declarations Swamiji will be declaring in the satsangs. So we'll start worrying, we'll start having self-doubts, right? Hare, where are we? What is going on? Swamiji is saying this. But in my life, this is not happening. We'll have so many doubts, denials, everything. Please understand, we don't have to worry. We will be going beyond pain and suffering when we have attitude of analyzing and searching for the truth, when we have courage to experiment with truth. So naturally, we will be liberated from all pains. So that Swami then advised Swamiji to start searching for the source of his thoughts. Listen, this is a technique. You can search for the source of your thoughts. Where are they originating from? Of course, at that age, Swamiji was only irritated by his comments and his attention was on the fruits and sweets the devotees had brought him. And Swamiji was hoping he would, that Annamalai Swamigal would give him some in consolation because he cut himself, right? So Swamiji thought that Swami will give some sweets and fruits in some consolation. But honestly, Swamiji neither understood nor was convinced of what that Swami said. Okay, Murli Ayya, you'll be healed. However, after a few days, he began to playfully and casually, Swamiji began to playfully and casually try out the technique of trying to see the origin of his thoughts. Understand, Swamiji did not do this with any greed or expectation or idea or desire or anything. He just simply playfully tried the technique. All Swamiji knew was what that Annamalai Swami had told him, that Swamiji would go beyond pain or suffering if he tried this technique, if he did this technique. Swamiji did not have any concept of God, Brahman, Atman, or Jnana at that time. He was too young, isn't it? He was a baby. What is 10 years, 11 years? One evening, at the foothills of the sacred Arunachala hill, Swamiji was sitting on a rock known locally as Pavalakundru, the coral rock, trying out the same technique with eyes closed. And Swamiji had fallen into deep meditation. After some time, suddenly something opened. Something seemed to happen inside him, inside his being. A feeling of being pulled or sucked inside. Listen, Swamiji started doing this technique of where the thoughts originated from. With eyes closed, he fell into deep meditation. After some time, suddenly something opened inside him. Something started happening inside his being, a feeling of being pulled or sucked inside. The next moment, it was as if a door had opened inside him. And he had a complete 360-degree vision, both laterally and vertically. Understand, Swamiji could see on all four sides. Swamiji could see on all four sides. The temple that was behind him, the hill that was in front of him, and the city that was on his left and right. He could see vertically too the sky, the rock on which he was sitting, again the temple behind him. Please understand, for normal people who have only a maximum of 120-degree vision, for us, see, we have only 120-degree vision, right? So for us, this is very difficult to comprehend. But Swamiji is promising that it did happen. No other intellectual explanation is possible. Not only Swamiji was able to see all around, he was also able to feel that whatever he was seeing was him. Whether they were plants or rocks or the city or the hill, whatever he could see, he felt they were all just him. The experience was so intense and ecstatic that it was more than 3 or 4 hours before he opened his eyes. He felt feverish with bliss, and this mood continued for 3 days. God, just imagine at the age of 10 and 11, if you have something like this, you'll be so scared, isn't it? Understand, after this, Swamiji was overtaken by a fear that there was something wrong with him. He thought a ghost had possessed him. And he decided never to go to that Pavalakundru, that rock, that coral rock again. He even began to avoid that route which he normally took. He related this experience to an elderly sannyasi, Mata Vibhudananda Devi Kuppammal, who was Swamiji's mentor. She held Swamiji's hand and seeing the energy exclaimed, "Hey, you are not possessed by any ghost. You are possessed by God," she said. She encouraged him to continue with meditation, but Swamiji never dared to do so for the next 6 months. He was even afraid to close his eyes. He also related this experience to a close friend of his. Swamiji told him about his 360-degree vision and how he was not knowing what was happening to him, etc., etc. Understand, that friend did not believe him until Swamiji proved it to him by telling him about an ant climbing up the tree behind him and correctly telling which side of the coin that he hid in his hand was exposed. See, this friend, Swamiji had to prove to this friend. So I think this guy was holding a coin and, held it like this. So Swamiji told which one was exposed out and inside or whatever, that really that guy, he ran away in terror after knowing this. Because Swamiji proved it, right? Then that guy, he came to the ashram and said to one of the ashramites, "I was the first person to receive energy darshan from Swamiji, but I missed it." Anyhow, despite the fear Swamiji experienced, the whole body was bubbling with joy and ecstasy. Like how we also had our first darshan of Swamiji. How were we bubbling, isn't it? Something was too energetic, too joyful. Hmm? So, see, understand that feeling was such a welcome that Swamiji had a small temptation to go to the rock again. He never really understood what had happened. A year later, another enlightened person gave the explanation to Swamiji. He said, the seeking, however, started after this experience. Understand? After this experience, for Swamiji, the real seeking started. Understand? 9 years of penance followed. All this penance was in order to have this experience again. That means he had this experience at that time. It stayed for 3 days or something. So later on, he had a gap of 9 years. Swamiji did severe penance for 9 years. That is when, I think when he was at the age of, I don't know, 21 or 23, he got enlightened and this experience retained permanently. But when it did come, that experience next time, both body and mind were ready and the experience stayed within his being forever. Understand? The vision of 360 degrees is what Sri Kṛṣṇa means by Divya Chakshu, Trinetra, divine eye or third eye, also called Ajna Chakra in a bro center. When this eye opens, you will see 360 degrees, not only in the horizontal, but in the vertical dimension also. You will see the whole existence as you, and you will experience it as you. This experience is only what Sri Kṛṣṇa calls cosmic consciousness. Swamiji felt that everything he was seeing around him was living, just as how we feel our living bodies expanding the body consciousness to the universal consciousness. Essence is, when you feel the whole universe as you, how you would feel about your own body, it can be called a cosmic experience. Conscious sovereignty. What is conscious sovereignty? Unfortunately, we do not feel alive even within our own bodies. Forget about other bodies. We don't feel alive in our own body. What to do? Understand? Just as Swamiji was frightened when he had his first experience, Arjuna too was frightened when he started seeing Sri Krishna's cosmic form. In such instances, a living master is required for help and guidance. Oh God, we forgot to pray to Bhagavan Sri Krishna before starting the session. Okay, let us do now. It's okay. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanooramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. We should not forget our hero, isn't it? Superhero. Swamiji was often asked this question: who was your master? To which Swamiji replies, Arunachala, Arunachala, the sacred hill of Tiruvannamalai. My birthplace itself is a living master. For a premature baby to survive, it must be put into the incubator. Similarly, Arunachala is the spiritual incubator for the enlightened person to be. The energy of Arunachala takes care just by your being near it. So Sri Krishna says, let me give you the third eye to enable you to experience the universal consciousness. All of you guys need to understand that after this verse, neither Krishna nor Arjuna speaks. Only till here they spoke to each other. After this verse, when the experience started happening, neither Krishna could speak nor Arjuna could speak. Only happening was happening, experience was happening. Please understand, suddenly it is Sanjaya who is speaking. See, understand, this is a war field. Okay? The blind king and his brother, both of them have, blind king has 100 sons. His brother Pandu has 5 sons. Both these cousins are fighting in the Kurukshetra war field. Now, this blind king is sitting in the kingdom. So, his assistant Sanjaya was given third eye by Maharshi Vyasa. Vyasa Maharshi has given this third eye to Sanjaya. So, till now, Sanjaya explained the conversation which happened between Kṛṣṇa and Arjuna to the blind king. Whatever is happening in the war field, he's narrating. Now, Kṛṣṇa and Arjuna stopped speaking. So now Sanjaya is speaking. He is explaining the scene. Because there, Sanjaya can't repeat now because Kṛṣṇa and Arjuna stopped. So whatever scene is being shown to him, Sanjaya is explaining that. Understand? After the first series in chapter in Bhagavad Gita, until now, there is not even one word from Sanjaya. From first series till today, Sanjaya did not speak on his own. He was only repeating the words of Arjuna and Kṛṣṇa, conversation, and this guy was listening, this king. But now Sanjaya started explaining. But here, it is Sanjaya who is speaking. This is a symbolic representation. Understand? Arjuna is unable to speak because he is in the ecstatic experience. Kṛṣṇa does not speak because his voice is beyond audibility. His voice is in the cosmic frequency. That is why we can't hear Kṛṣṇa. Arjuna is unable to speak. And the cosmic frequency voice is not audible to us. So, Sanjaya is interpreting the scene which is being shown to him in his third eye from the war field. So, now let us see what Sanjaya is saying. Sanjaya is describing. Constance Chapin. Okay. Healing. Swamiji blessed yesterday. Saranka, how are you? Your mom is feeling better now? Is she okay? The whole family is feeling better? Yeah, I can see your mom. Everybody, all core devotees, why don't you put a message in YouTube when Akashic reading from Swamiji is happening? It's a direct blessing. Understand? All of you can message in YouTube, in the comment section. Yeah, slightly better. Okay. Anyhow, you are under his protection, so he'll take care. Constance Chapin, put a message in the YouTube. You have to become a member. It's a very bare minimum amount. It's, I don't know, $2, $3, I don't know. Become a member in YouTube in Swamiji's channel and you put a message. First time he may not see your message, then copy paste it again. Like they do it 4 or 5 times. He will see and get the blessing. All of you make use of this. We don't know how many times Swamiji will come like this with Arul Vak. But understand, with whatever bank account you are paying, the $1 or $2, the same name will appear in the YouTube. Right? That is the same name. He will be reading your name. So make sure your, whatever your, this thing is, your original name is there. All make use of it. I don't know if we have the Akashic reading today. Oh, early morning we had in the morning today. So we will have probably tomorrow. So all of you take healing from directly from Devi and Paramashiva. Direct. Don't miss it. Don't miss live satsang, anybody. It's not something, it's not, nothing is worth missing satsang. Anyhow, Sanjaya Uvacha Om Eva Muktva Tato Rajan Mahayogeshwaro Harihi Darshayamasa Parthaya Paramam Rupamaishwaram. Again, once more. Om Eva Muktva Tato Rajan Mahayogeshwaro Harihi Darshayamasa Parthaya Paramam Rupamaishwaram. This means, O king, he's speaking to the blind king. O king, having spoken thus, the great Lord of Yoga, Mahayogeshwara, Hari, Sri Krishna, showed to Arjuna his supreme cosmic form. So, Sanjaya is saying that Krishna is giving the darshan. So, Sanjaya is interpreting and explaining the whole scene to the king. The next verse. Om Anekavakranayanam Anekadbhutadarshanam Anekadivyabharanam Divyanekodyatayudham. This means infinite mouths and eyes with infinite wonderful sights, infinite divine ornaments with numerous divine weapons uplifted. The next verse. Om Divyamalyambaradharam Divyagandhanulepanam Sarvascharyamayam Devam Anantam Vishwatomukham. Means Arjuna saw this universal form wearing divine garlands and clothing, anointed all over with celestial fragrances, all wonderful, brilliantly resplendent, endless, with all pervading faces on all sides. God. Now darshan is being explained. Please understand. Now we are really have to have this experience now. When you are listening, listen properly. The darshan is being explained now. We should also see that now. Okay? Please understand, these verses show the unlimited, never-ending, wonderful, all-pervading nature of the Lord. Sri Ramakrishna, the great saint, enlightened master, says that when he experienced the form, the cosmic consciousness, he could not pluck a single flower from a plant because he felt that all the plants were garlands offered to God. Really, if you can really sense the life in the others, understand, how can we kill something and eat? Right? Whole world should become vegetarian. Life is thriving in something. How can we kill and eat? Just for a snack? Isn't it? God, look at Sri Ramakrishna. Paramahamsa Sri Ramakrishna is saying, when he had this experience of cosmic consciousness, he could not even pluck a single flower from a plant to worship Kali because he felt that all the plants were garlands offered to God. Anyone who has had this experience is reborn. Understand? At one level, this experience is one of boundarylessness. In previous many series, we spoke about boundarylessness, choicelessness. The body expands to fill everything. The entire universe is part of the body. There is no separation of the individual and the whole, Purna. The whole is part and the part is whole. At another level, the whole universe exists within you. You are everything that you see around you. The grass outside the hut, the dog in the distance, the tree beyond, the snake which you feel so scared about. Every single entity, animate and inanimate, resonates within you as a part of you. In that mood, plucking a flower hurts. I'll tell you one experience. My first guru, he is also a direct disciple of Sri Ramana Maharishi, okay, Sri Prahalad Baba. One day, for some celebration, I don't know for what, I was in his ashram long, long back. This was when I was very young. That time, I don't know what's enlightenment, jnana, knowledge, bhakti, nothing. I didn't know anything. Except singing, I didn't know anything. Then some celebration, they were actually decorating the Rama Mandir. There are all Sri Rama, Chandra and Sita and all idols were there. Behind that, they were decorating the flowers. How they were decorating? All of you, are you aware of thermocol? You know what thermocol is? In packing material, many times a computer or a TV, when they pack, the thing that white thing which breaks, it acts like a sponge for this. It's called thermocol. That thermocol, what they were doing, they cut it into a nice arch kind of a thing. And on that, they were, instead of sticking the flowers, what they were doing, with small pin, they took some flowers and in middle of the bud, they were poking that needle, and with that needle, they're pressing it on the thermocol. So that's how the whole thermocol design was filled with flowers. So when this decoration was going on, I was also there, naturally. I was also doing. Understand, in that sacred place, in his presence, in Baba's presence, actually when people were piercing that flower with that pin, oh God, I don't know what I was feeling. I was not happy about it. I was feeling very bad. See, that time I didn't have any knowledge or anything, sin, merit, like this. I didn't know anything. But I was feeling very unhappy, very much discomfort. And every time we are poking, I used to feel that way. I remember this experience. I used to feel, Arey, what are we doing to decorate Bhagavan? What we are doing with this delicate, beautiful flower? We are piercing it. I used to feel as though that flower is getting hurt. Understand? Today, when Swamiji is narrating about Sri Ramakrishna, feeling he was unable to even pluck the flower, I can relate with it what he's speaking. I can relate. Even though I don't have the experience of the conscious form or whatever, still I can relate. God. Understand, animate and inanimate. Every single entity resonates within you as a part of you. So, in that mood, even plucking a flower hurts. Even a wild animal responds peacefully to your presence. There is no violence in cosmic consciousness. There is only completion and inclusion. If you look back, you also must have had many experiences like this. The only thing is you don't remember and you take it casual. But it is not. They are very auspicious experiences. There is only completion and inclusion in cosmic consciousness. This is what Arjuna saw in the universal form: an unlimited number of mouths, eyes, and wonderful visions. He saw that the form of Sri Krishna was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine appraised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments, clothes. Many divine scents were smeared all over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, all expanding. Here, Arjuna sees an unlimited number of mouths and eyes in Sri Krishna. Understand? Now, Arjuna sees 360 degrees in both horizontal and vertical dimensions. He sees the whole universe. He's able to see all the people on the battlefield, lakhs and lakhs of people. He could see all the people on the battlefield are inside Sri Krishna as the universal consciousness. He sees the whole as his own being. There is no boundary to Sri Krishna's universal form. Understand, the word Vishnu, which is his real form, means one who expands infinitely. Vishnu means what? Vishnu means one who expands infinitely in his real form. The splendor that Sanjaya talks about. Sanjaya is the blind king's assistant, okay? Right hand man. The splendor that Sanjaya talks about is beyond anything the mind can comprehend, because it is the source of all splendor. Understand, whatever we call as splendor, the splendor of that Bhagavan is beyond the splendor which we can perceive. Understanding? Please notice, it is Sanjaya speaking these words, not Arjuna. Sanjaya is far from the battlefield and has been given the power to see what happens on the battlefield so that he can describe the events to his king Dhritarashtra. Though Sri Krishna says that this form is being shown only to Arjuna, by default, Sanjaya has the great fortune to witness and participate in this vision. Arjuna is awestruck and he is in silence. He is yet to speak. So, tomorrow we will see, after his silence, what Arjuna speaks and what more is happening inside Arjuna. And what else is happening in the Divya Darshan, we will experience tomorrow. So everybody, please come back to the class, and I request everyone tomorrow on time, each and every person, please connect so that we can start the class 10 minutes earlier. Okay? Don't delay your connection, because you don't want to miss this formless form description, isn't it? This darshan. God. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Healing blessings to everybody who are sitting here. Actually, I don't even want to stop the class, because we are in middle of the darshan, but I'm forced to, seeing the time. For me, no time limit, but for you, I guess there is no. That is why I have to leave. So next class is unclutched meditation session. Everybody, please continue in the same link. Whoever is having restlessness, anxiety, fear, more thoughts, and dilemma, some kind of contemplation about what you want to do in life, or any doubts you have, please continue in the next unclutched session. You will be healed, and completion will happen inside you, and peace will happen inside you. Okay? So same room, you can stay back. Anybody who wants to. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Sadguru Padarpanamastu. Om Nityananda.